So, hi everyone. I have finally come back and I'm excited to just be on YouTube again. I've missed everyone. And a lot of crazy stuff has been going on. Obviously in the news, everyone knows what's going down, but um, let's try to focus on art today. And also, myself, besides traveling and a lot of crazy things in my personal life, including like the last 2 weeks, severe some health issues, not anything contagious, but like severe allergy reactions. I've been on steroid medication and different things. So just dealing with a bunch of stuff. But I'm doing much better now. And so let's just have a talk about, um, I don't have any notes, but I've been thinking about so many things I wanted to share with everyone. So let me just think where we can start. I totally am just winging it right now. It's just after midnight, and so yeah, and tomorrow I'm going up to Wisconsin to my parents' farm. Gonna get some fresh eggs and a bunch of stuff, and help my dad's doing radiation for cancer. They've removed it all, but he's got to follow up, just, that 1-2 punch thing. So a little concerned about him, but he's in really positive spirits. So about halfway through, about 10 more treatments. So yeah, so just wanted to go see them, and then I'm also going to visit some other family in Milwaukee on Sunday. So it's going to be a nice weekend. Finally starting to get warmer here, so I'm so excited. So I hope everyone else is doing well too. And yeah, so this will be a great month. Here, there's a lot of people like schools, kids out of school, things like that. So, it might be a good time to have some creative painting projects going on. And yeah, any kind of art materials you can get your hands on. It's a great, I think, if we're forced to be in like our home environment, and it's, you can think of it as being disconnected, but um, let's look at the positive. And one of those is just going more internally and being creative. So that's one of the positives of all this stuff that's going on, as far as I'm concerned. So uh, a lot of people, I feel, it's something that we miss out on. That some people are getting into meditation, but uh, I know I personally, I'm so afraid of missing that message or email, that it takes a lot of discipline to like not take my phone with me everywhere I go. And so just to have those quiet moments, at breakfast, or when you first wake up, not just immediately go for your phone, just have those quiet times. I think they're really important, and a lot of people have lost sight of that. And so, um, maybe some of this time that we're going to be spending either alone or with close friends and family, hopefully, we can maybe regain some of the things that we've lost in this crazy, fast-paced society that we're in. So, creativity can be a part of that, and it doesn't have to be art. It could be like music or dancing, or um, whatever you're into. But there's lots of ways to be creative. Um, One of the things I used to do when I was a kid was, we had a blackboard. Obviously, this is before computers, and I had Fisher Price people, and well, we would do, this was like pre-Minecraft, so we would do two things. Well, we would first, I would make some sort of floor plan on the blackboard of like a school or a hospital or a performance or a performing arts center with a stage. And I remember the stage had an elevator on it because I had always been fascinated by stages and the way people would either disappear into the floor and go away, or they would rise up out of the floor. So I'd make sure that it had one of those, even though it didn't actually work because it's just a blackboard, but it was just using our imagination. And so we would just play seriously sometimes half the day on the silly blackboard uh, with our Fisher Price people. And then we would get, I'm thinking of Minecraft now, we would get more like three-dimensional by using blocks and, making forts and cities out of blocks for the people. So, yeah, just one thing I was thinking of about my early creative years. Um, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty right now. And so there's like a therapeutic quality to being creative and doing art as well. And so I would actually say it's a good thing to do right now. Um, yeah, I think it's a positive thing to do. I mean, I can't think of much negative about it. I think it's better than being on the news all day. And just I think really the most important thing right now is to just treat both your body and your mind um, with a lot of discipline and respect, as far as being really kind to them and be careful what you put in them, like input, output, and just put positive, as many positive, um, good vibration, healthy um, things into your mind and into your body. So just be careful what you're watching. I mean, we want to stay informed, but not. The news is made to be kind of addictive anyway and keep you off balance so that you'll keep coming back, I feel. So, I mean, I get it's kind of like a ride on a roller coaster, really. It's like you keep coming back to, get those highs and lows. So just keep that in mind. And it will affect your day. Like, we have so much more power over how our day goes than I think we sometimes know. And um, I know that when I'm a lot of times things will kind of like have a domino effect for me. And if one thing goes well that day, like 10 more things will go well really quickly. And if I'm in a really happy mood, like the more happy I get, the more good things happen. And when I'm in a frustrated place, it's like I remember one day, like I bumped my head and then I swore and then I stubbed my toe and then I like slammed my finger in a drawer and then I like scratched myself, like all within like an hour. It's just that's like the train I was on at that moment. And I didn't know how to get off, apparently. So, yeah, so I really think it's important right now to just be really like curate your life. And um, like, I feel like this is an exciting time to, um, well, there's two things. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty, but there's also a lot of opportunity right now. And it might not be what we expected or planned on or wanted, but it's something that maybe with the right mindset can turn out better than you would ever dream this year. So I don't see why any of us can't have an amazing year. So let's all get to work on whatever we feel that we're supposed to be doing right now. And I think that's another one of the blessings of crazy times like this is it reminds you of what's really important in your life, and that um, yeah, I think we're all experiencing that, just like um, the connections with others, and um, just our humanness, I guess you could say. So back to art. Let's go back to art. So I am going to try to do some more tutorials this week. I'm going to get it set up. I'm doing a lot of things not art related right now. It seems like the sales this last few days have kind of slowed down, which I was expecting just because I know a lot of people are prepping and um, just kind of in an uncertain state with the stock market and a bunch of crazy stuff going on. But I'm going to keep making art. I've been really inspired to paint a lot of things for spring, and it's just that time of year. So, like, I was on a walk today, and I try to take a nature walk every day, and saw so many beautiful robins, big fat robins. All of them were mostly not in the trees, but on the ground looking for worms, probably for their little babies. If not, then just to fatten their bellies because they haven't laid their eggs yet. I'm not sure yet if they've laid eggs um, here in Chicago. But I did see a lot of them. I saw a lot of, I'm not sure what's in the trees. I know there's cardinals here and some other birds are coming back. I hear more and more birds every morning. So that's really exciting. And one thing I'm going to do this week is get some bird feeders out. So we can attract even more. And I'm planting a ton of new flowers this year, and a lot of them will be really good for hopefully bees and hummingbirds. So we'll see how that goes. And so let me think. I wanted to say thank you to everybody that bought my book that came out March 3rd. And I'm going to do some videos related to some of the projects in that book really soon. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions about the book, go ahead and leave them in the comments either here or in any of the upcoming videos, especially ones with that tutorial, because that would be helpful if it's on that video because it would be there for other people to read um, for that video. So, and I get alerts. I have the YouTube app on my phone, so I have both there and on my desktop. I check the messages on YouTube. So I don't even have Facebook or Messenger on my phone, but I do have YouTube on my phone. So anyway, I don't necessarily have the alerts turned on, but I'm on there so often. It's my Netflix, really. I watch art videos and I get a lot. I have a lot of channels that I like. So anyway, um, back to art again. So yeah, this is I was going to do a lot of Native American art, and I wanted to do a lot of traveling to the American Southwest and go to even some uh, like and also up to like some places in Montana and Idaho, and just go to some like festivals even, but I don't know if that's going to happen right now with everything that's going down. So I'm going to focus on I'm kind of redirecting where I was planning to go this year, And I'm going to focus close to home, I guess, for now with just more of my, um, I'm going to do a few things that are Eastery coming up, and then a lot of spring inspired animals, birds, and flowers, and little landscapes, things like that. So that's fun, and hopefully, the stores right now are getting kind of crazy. Like I was just doing a little recon tonight because yesterday they were out of toilet paper everywhere. Okay, sorry. But they So I was looking today, they were out of Kleenex, which I usually use Kleenex for cleaning up. They're out of paper towels. So I might have to literally switch to rags like old school. And I guess we're just so used to everything disposable now that might have to be, I don't know. I feel like we're getting back to like the depression times when like grandmas would like my grandparents would like wash their Ziploc bags out and reuse tinfoil and things like that. And everything's so disposable nowadays, everything's just made so cheap and you just toss it. And so, yeah, it's like this whole different mindset when a supply chain breaks down, whether it's art supplies or ink. I just tried to order ink and I was freaking out because I was like, am I gonna hand write receipts to people? Are we like literally out of ink on Amazon? Because I want to use my Prime. I don't want to have to pay $10 shipping for a $12 cartridge of ink. So, yeah, I was kind of freaked out, but it all worked out. But yeah, it's just like I said, a little bit. Just a little bit of uncertainty right now. So, again, on the positive side, uh, I think we all have choices to make this year, and this is just my take on things, is we can sit back and be reactive, and or we can go within and make choices every day to determine how our day goes, just like I was talking about when I let things get to me and had all these bad things happen to me in an hour. And if you make the choice ahead of time of how your day is going to go, I really believe that it will be the. I think we're all feeling a little powerless right now, but that we need to remember that we have a lot more power. Like, I forget who it was, Nelson Mandela or someone, the quote of, I don't even remember the quote, but it had something to do with, we're not afraid of being powerless, we're afraid of our own power. And I've felt that before. Like, there was like the other day, I said I was going to make a certain amount of money that day, and then I said all these other things. So I said, like, this person was going to call me within an hour, and all these things. I just like demanded that day everything I wanted, and I could not believe that I made this crazy amount of money that day, and I had no idea that. I mean, I have made that much in one day, but it's a lot. And I don't usually ever plan, like, I've never intentionally planned it. I was just like a crazy test I decided to do. And then just even that's when I'm like, well, if that can happen, let me see if I can get other people in on this. And it was working. So I just feel like we have a lot more power. It's kind of like the Jedi mind tricks. Like, we can affect the world around us by our beliefs and our attitudes, and yeah, so just keep that in mind, and um, try to stay in a place of abundance. I know um, I've even been worried about, like I said, art supplies running out, and I don't want to spend like a ton of money stocking up on stuff, like really expensive paints that for my business. I just don't want to get too top heavy and things, and especially if it's not moving anyway. I'm just not sure like what my plan should be as far as things like that. So I'm starting to actually save a lot more things and be a lot more like I used to just throw gobs and gobs of paint away, even if it was unmixed on my palette. I just get it off there. And now I'm starting to think, well, maybe I should save this big blob of turquoise that's unmixed and fresh and set it aside somewhere. I haven't actually done that yet because I still don't know where I'm going to put it, but I've been thinking of things like that. Oh goodness, I have so many things, so many places we could go for videos. I'll show you some of the ideas I have up right now on my wall for video ideas. Varnishing paintings, removing old varnish from art, adding wire to the hang pictures, illustrated stories, Photoshop 2020 tutorials, because I have the new Photoshop and I'm learning how to use it myself. But probably more for artists than photography, because I mean, what they do with like photography, like portraits and things, that's kind of over my head. More just stuff for artists. And then things to do with spring, forcing blooms. Let's see, book project things, some fun stuff with my book that's out now. And maybe some book reviews. Our library is closed as of today, but I have a ton of books at my house that I've been meaning to read, so it's time to maybe dust them off. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have this fun book called American Girl's Handbook, and it has all these fun craft ideas in it and art ideas. It's like a remake of a book from like the 40s, I think, and it has like paper dolls and all kinds of fun little projects. So maybe we could do a few of those. That might be fun. Oil painting, bake and decorate a cupcake and then paint it and then probably eat the cupcake. So that might be fun. Let's see. And then on my new glass palette, just an update on it. And yeah, I really do love my glass palette. Let's see, what else? Like maybe more slideshows of art that I've done, like birds and different categories maybe, just more chats like this. I was thinking of some story times, maybe like just from my experiences or stories, or I even have like stories from my like ancestors and all kinds of crazy stuff I could share. Or we could do stories about other artists. Like I have a bunch of art history books, things like that. I don't know, maybe we could do some focuses on certain categories or something. And then definitely a lot more tutorials. I'd like to do drawing, gouache, watercolor, oil painting, and acrylic. So, oh, there's so much to do. So many things we can do. All right. Um, Another thing I'm doing is I am putting positive affirmations on my wall, just taking post-it notes, and then the post-it notes fall off. So, for some reason, my painted wall, so I have to use washi tape. And I buy washi tape. I have like jars of washi tape. I get it on Amazon usually. I used to buy it at like the stationery store, but it's a lot cheaper just on Amazon or probably Walmart or somewhere. Yeah, so stay positive, and be creative. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.